It started with a message, 3 words, "We need to talk." I'd seen that phrase before, in emails that ended jobs, in letters that ended friendships, and in texts that ended marriages. But this one wasn't from my wife. It was from her sister. She'd never messaged me directly before, not once in 7 years. Her tone was careful, polite, too polite. She said the family was planning something special, but that I shouldn't worry about coming. I reread it 3 times. Each word felt dipped in acid. That night at dinner, I tested the air. I looked across the table at my wife, her mother, her sister. The laughter came too easily. Every smile looked rehearsed. So I said it, softly, deliberately. "Can't wait for the family reunion." Her sister's laugh came sharp and immediate. "You're not invited," she said, sipping her wine. "It's for real family." Everyone laughed, even my wife. Something inside me shifted then. A small click, like the sound of a lock turning. I didn't argue, I didn't ask questions, I just smiled. And finished my drink in silence. The next morning, she acted like nothing had happened. Poured coffee, hummed while checking her phone, asked if I'd picked up dry cleaning. I watched her hands, still, steady, not guilty, but detached. People think betrayal is loud, screaming, accusations, chaos. It isn't. It's quiet. It's the stillness between 2 breaths when you realize you've been replaced in someone's world. She kissed my cheek before leaving for work. I didn't move. Something about that kiss felt like pity. That afternoon, I logged into our joint account. Small withdrawals, $40 here, $60 there, each one near her sister's neighborhood. Dinner bills, boutique stores, one hotel charge. I didn't let the anger come. I just noted the time, the place, the rhythm. Betrayal leaves patterns, and I've always been good with patterns. That night, she told me she'd be working late. I told her to take her time. She smiled, relieved. That was her first mistake. I started collecting evidence quietly. A second phone under the car seat. A duplicate key fob in her bag. Messages deleted but not erased. Her sister's name appeared often. Meeting her, dropping by, staying over. The phrasing was casual, but the timing wasn't. I didn't need to confront, not yet. Confrontation gives power to emotion. I preferred silence. Silence made people confess without words. By the third night, I had a clear map. Every outing, every call, every expense. The pieces fit together too easily. I wasn't angry. I was disappointed. Disappointed that I had expected loyalty from people who only understood convenience. At work, I stayed calm, efficient, distant. At home, I was quieter than usual, and she mistook it for fatigue. She started humming again, as if the absence of confrontation meant forgiveness. She didn't realize I was already withdrawing, not from her, but from us. The first thing I moved wasn't my clothes or my things, it was money, from joint to personal, from personal to untouchable. Every cent she used to mock, I redirected into silence. By the time she laughed at dinner again that week, I had already rewritten the financial spine of our marriage. 4 days after that dinner, she tried to withdraw $2,400. I knew she would. The pattern had told me. I was waiting for it. The alert pinged across my phone like a small metallic heartbeat. Payment denied. I took a screenshot, sent it to her, captioned it, "Must be that family-only policy." It took her 40 minutes to reply. When she did, her message was just 1 word. "What?" I didn't answer. An hour later, she called, voice trembling, controlled, asked why the card wasn't working. I said I'd separated accounts to make things clearer. She didn't understand. Not yet. But clarity has a way of arriving uninvited. 2 days later, I heard the knock. Loud, repeated, desperate. When I opened the door, she stood there, eyes red, voice shaking. Behind her, her sister hovered like a shadow that suddenly knew light existed. I let them speak first. "I don't understand," my wife said, voice breaking. The mortgage, the bills, everything's. All managed, I said quietly, just not by you anymore. Her sister's face drained of color. She whispered something, a name, a plea, maybe an apology. I didn't care enough to listen. I looked at both of them. Two people who had mistaken my calm for weakness, who thought silence meant surrender. I told them about the transfers, the accounts, the trust I'd built in my name months before. Told them I'd left enough for her to survive, but not enough to mock me with. Her mother called later that night, said I'd overreacted. I didn't reply. I sent her the same screenshot. Payment denied. That night, I slept better than I had in months. No rage, no noise, just silence, clean and complete. People think revenge feels like fire. It doesn't. It feels like the quiet after a storm finally stops pretending to be rain. In the morning, I made coffee. Black, simple, alone. The house was too quiet, but not empty. It was honest. I thought about that dinner, the laughter, the wine, the way they looked at me like an outsider. They were right in a way. I was never part of their family. I was just the man financing their illusion. Now, I'm not even that. I poured the last of the coffee down the drain, watched it swirl away, and whispered to the empty room, "Real family, after all."